I was so angry. In fact, I was irate. I was actually judgmental. I was judging myself on how angry I was. And I think I know why. I want to talk about it because everyone thinks I'm this calm, grounded person, which, yes, majority of the time I am. But every now and then I get absolutely infuriated. Thank goodness I've got strategies to manage it. So let's get into it.
Welcome to the What's Eating You podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie, and I'm a psychologist, published author, and public speaker here to educate and validate. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back to the What's Eating You podcast. I'm your host, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you decided to join me today. If you're a newbie, let me know on Insta. Send me a message or a DM. Let me know that you're enjoying the show, and don't forget to leave a rating and review because that is how we get the show out to many more peeps. Today is a Freestyle Friday, and I'm going to talk about something that triggered me last week at the gym because I'm not perfect. I do have good mental health, and I do have a lot of strategies to manage how I feel, and I want to share them with you today, but I want to know why I was frustrated and go down this little path because when I actually started investigating the thing that made me angry, I realized it wasn't just a me thing. It was a universal thing that really bothered a lot of people, and you can probably relate to this. It's about gym etiquette, right? Gym etiquette. So here's the story. Picture this. I was at the gym. I'm hitting the weights. I'm following a program. I'm getting a good workout in. I'm on a time schedule. I head on over to the machine that I wanted to use, and there's a woman just sitting there, scrolling through her phone, looking at her photos. She's not using the machine, just sitting. I take a deep breath and think, okay, it's okay, someone's on that. But then I see her scrolling through her photos. As the minutes tick by, I start to feel my frustration rising. I was really angry and frustrated. Then instead of reacting, I took a step back and I took a breath. And I said, Steph, it's okay. It's okay to feel upset. It's okay to feel frustrated that the machine you want is not available. But I was really angry and annoyed because of gym etiquette. And gym etiquette is just this sort of silent rules that when you've been training in the gym a long time, you're aware of, or if you're just a person who's conscious of other people around you, you are aware of this. But I completely understand that there are new people in the gym who may not be aware of etiquette. So I hope that this episode can, number one, raise awareness around gym etiquette and also around when you feel angry, how to handle that. So let's get into it. What I did was I took a deep breath and I noticed and validated my frustration, okay? I took a deep breath and I thought, okay, where is this anger coming from? What is wrong? And do you know what it is? Often when there is someone doing something we wouldn't normally do, we feel frustrated. So for me, look, I admit there's been times I've been on my phone at the gym or I've checked Instagram or I've messaged my food freedom group, but I will never do it while I'm sitting on a machine. So I will do my reps, I'll do my exercise, and then I will walk around the gym. So I usually just do laps. I walk up and down while my timer of rest is going. So I time my rest, I time everything because I'm following a program. I want my training to be purposeful. And then if there is an urgent matter that I need to respond to, I would do it in a corner or outside of awareness. I would never sit on a piece of gym equipment unless it's a treadmill and scroll through social media or edit a video or look at my photos. I would feel so uncomfortable doing that. I'd feel really embarrassed. Like even just using the machines, I'm like, oh my gosh, is someone waiting for it? Or I'm just very mindful. And I don't know if that comes from experience. I've been training for over 14 years, so I'm aware of it. But we're going to talk about what gym etiquette is and how you can not get angry at people in general. Okay. So for many people, anger comes from when we feel there is a sense of injustice or we feel we are wronged in some way, right? So for some people, when things arise, we can take it personally and we think people are out to get us or just deliberately frustrate us. Or if you're a Pisces like me, you just think everyone's attacking you. No, but seriously, As you listen to this, I want you to reflect on the last time you felt angry. Where did that anger come from? What was it about that situation that made you feel angry? What was the story you were telling yourself? Right? Now, stories are very important. So a story is the message we tell ourselves, and there's a technique behind this, and it's very simple but very powerful. You see, often our reactions are based not on actual events, but on the stories we create in our minds about those events. These stories can either fuel our negative emotion or help us find peace and understanding. So let me tell you how I applied this to my situation at the gym, and I came up with 4 different explanations. So we're going to call this the 4-pack sandwich. So every time something annoys you, you're going to have a story about it. So for example, it was me, it was like, oh, this girl doesn't care. She just maybe doesn't want me to use the machine. Let's go through the worst case scenario. She is selfish. She doesn't care about other people. I'm going to be late because of this. Let's go through what the worst story was. I would never do that. How can she do that? That was my initial story I was telling myself. And it was all about how it was inconveniencing me. But you know what? Being in the mental health field, I understand that people have a lot of mental health going on and they might be struggling with anxiety. So here was 4 different scenarios I came up with. Now, none of these scenarios may be true, but considering them helped to broaden my cognitive flexibility and help me to calm my emotions. So the first explanation was she didn't know gym etiquette, okay? I considered the possibility that she just didn't know that you shouldn't sit on your phone and scroll on your photos while you're on a machine. Maybe she was new to the gym and unaware that generally it's not cool to sit on a machine while you're not using it. And obviously this perspective helped me feel empathetic rather than annoyed. So notice how just by simply changing your perspective, changing the story can change how you feel. Number 2, the second story I told myself was she was anxious, which is so common in women at the gym. I get it. And it is a unisex gym, so I understand. I thought about the possibility she might have anxiety. The gym can be an intimidating place, especially for newcomers. And perhaps she was using her phone as a way to cope with anxiety or figure out how to use the machine properly. I saw she was scrolling through her photos. There was another lady who did the same thing. She was on Instagram, so they weren't, but that's okay. Let's just play the benefit of the doubt here. And I do know people go on their phones when they're feeling anxious. I've done it heaps of times. Number 3, another possibility was maybe she was waiting for someone. Maybe she was saving the machine for a workout buddy who was running late. And whilst this is still not ideal gym etiquette, understanding this possible intention made me a little bit less upset. And the final reframe, the final story was she had an emergency. Maybe she was dealing with an emergency. Maybe she had an urgent message or call or something she needed to handle immediately. And this thought made me realize that we never really know what someone's going through. And the other thing I said was, Steph, you can sit here and be angry and frustrated or go use another machine. Like, you have control over your thought. She has no idea that you exist right now. And unless you're going to go say something to her, she has no idea you're pissed off. So you're pissed off for no reason. The only person getting affected by your anger is you. And yes, this takes a lot of work and this takes a lot of self-reflection, but you can get there. So by considering these different scenarios, this 4-pack of stories, I was able to reframe my thoughts and my anger diminished. So instead of seeing her as someone intentionally disrupting my workout and being rude, I was just like, you know what? She's a human being. She's probably just unaware. She probably has her own struggles. And if we shift our perspective, whilst we don't know, it may not be true, it helps to create more compassion and understanding. But what I thought I'd do with this episode is go through some gym etiquette just for anyone who's wondering, all right? So I went on the internet and I Googled gym etiquette and so many things came up and I felt really validated. I'm like, oh, it wasn't just me. This is an actual thing. There was a guy who did a YouTube video on it and I found an article that went through 8 things you need to know when you're in the gym. So I thought I would go through it. So the first one was, do listen to music on your podcasts or your phone. You just want to be mindful not to sing out loud, get into your zone, but many people listen to their favorite music or podcast to help them improve a skill set while exercising, kill two birds with one stone. But obviously just be respectful of your headphones and just be mindful of people around you. Number 2, this was the one I was annoyed at. Don't sit on equipment and watch videos between set. The gym isn't a movie theater. You can't simply lay down on a leg press with your feet up and start watching videos, shows, or movies. Do that in your own time. Your rest periods should be short, so you keep your workout intense. Try not to rest for more than a minute if you're looking to build muscle, da-da-da-da-da. And I agree. Look, I don't think I've noticed someone to that extent watching a movie, but scrolling through social media, I want you to change the way you think about your workout. I want you to think about your workout as this is your private time for you to invest into your mental health. And we get such little time to ourselves. We're constantly on demand to our family, to our friends, to our partners, to our work colleagues, that you literally get an hour to just focus on you, and you're giving that attention away to other people on social media. I actually put my phone on Do Not Disturb when I'm in the gym. And I really rarely will check social media unless I'm at the end and then I'll do some stuff on there, then it's fine. So just remember, when you're going to the gym, you're going there to spend time with yourself. You're there to focus on you. You're there to focus on your health, your progress, all of that. Okay? Everyone's there to achieve their goal. And the third thing is, don't waste time texting and emailing. When you go to the gym, you're there to exercise or to chit chat. And look, I'm a bit of a social butterfly at the gym. I do have my chit chats, but I also say, look, I need to get through this workout, or I just get straight into it. So if you're emailing or texting while you're at the gym, you've really got to have a serious conversation with yourself and say, do you know what? Like, why am I doing this? Is this honestly an emergency? And I know, because I used to be this person. I would try to do as much as I could. Even when I was in the car, I'd return phone calls, this and this. I wouldn't miss a phone call. But you know what? I say to myself, nothing can't wait. Nothing is urgent. So remember this. Save your conversations on your phone until after your workout. If you have time to text and email, you're not putting in maximum effort and intensity into your workout, and you deserve better. You deserve that full attention while you're at the gym. And I'm just picking out the ones that I think are going to be the most useful for people listening to this, okay? There's one that says, don't block the gym mirror for selfies. I take selfies at the gym, but I try to be really mindful of who's in the background. I see all those gym videos on TikTok where people are pointing other people out in their videos, and yeah, it's just toxic. And unless someone's consented to be in a video, I'm really careful to not get people in the background. But also, if I'm going to take a photo or a video, I'm just very mindful that people are not around. I don't fully believe in never taking photos or never taking content in the gym. I think we're in a time and place now and a space where it's okay and acceptable, as long as you are super mindful of people behind you and people who are there, and you're not taking 20 minutes to do it. Do you know what I mean? I understand the mirrors are there to help you on focus and posture, but a little sneaky selfie here and there is okay, just as long as you're getting it out the way quite quickly. So if this is you, don't feel bad. We've all been there. We've all done these behaviors at one case or another, and it's just about educating ourselves. So if you do go to the gym, I just want you to be mindful of people around you. If someone is scrolling on their phone, they're not getting off the machine, like maybe I could have just said something. My partner said, why don't you just go up to Steph and say, hey, are you using the machine? But I've heard horror stories as well where people get really rude, really defensive when you're just trying to be helpful. So I'm not sure. What do you think? Let me know when you listen to this episode on your thoughts of gym etiquette. I would love to know. If someone was scrolling on social media on their phone, would you say something? Would you go off and use a different machine? I'd really, really be curious to know. But In conclusion, the next time you find yourself getting angry or frustrated with someone's behavior, try to just take a step back and breathe and consider the story you're telling yourself. Are they the only possible explanation? Use the 4 sandwich stories that I spoke about earlier. Come up with 4 possible explanations. Whether or not they're true, it doesn't matter, but the key is to expand our cognitive capacity and awareness to consider other things, because this helps us manage our emotions and regulate our nervous system. As always, I appreciate you being here. I would love to know if you found this helpful. Thank you for joining me on the What's Eating You podcast. As always, subscribe, click, follow, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. I am truly grateful for you being here. If you got something out of today's show, please take a moment to leave a rating or review. To access more resources or support, check out the show notes below. See you next time.